Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host, Muhammad Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia. On this episode, we have a special guest, Tiffani Neilson. Tiffani is an author, TV host, and CMO at IoT Marketing. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Tiffani Neilson. Tiffani, welcome.
Hello, and thank you so much for having me.
Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Okay. Well, I was asked to be a marketing representative and communications director for a technology company several years ago. And as that company kind of winded down to a pause or a halt, if you will, it was during the time when COVID was just beginning. And so I kind of saw it coming from a distance. And I transitioned into a new career at IoT Marketing, where I'm their chief marketing officer. But their whole business model was relying on trade shows to get messages out for their clients. And seeing that there was a pandemic on its way, I had a vision and I thought, it would be great if we pivoted and we pivoted early to do webinars. And that way we could keep the IoT and tech community connected, as well as be a resource for people that were looking to implement connected solutions, especially during these very uncertain times. And that's worked out really well for us. And now we have a very large audience from around the world, over 65 countries. And we have about 1,000 to 2,500 people who attend our monthly live events that focus on a industry every month and how technology is being used.
What are the top three reasons why do people fail?
Well, I know personally, the number one thing that people can do that I've done is take on too much. And, not having that prioritized is an extra negative on that one. But another one is that, they don't prepare properly. And so if you prepare for the worst and you hope for the best, I think that's another great secret that people should try to avoid. And also assuming, like I try to rely as much as I can on the data because the data doesn't bend. So it's safe to trust data over assuming. So don't assume.
What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
Well, with what I'm doing now, I guess the biggest failure or challenge that I have experienced was during my data security webinar, and go figure, it would get hacked. But I think the most critical piece to coming out of that and still having it be a success was not panicking. And I think a lot of times when something's not going right, people have the tendency to panic and just not know what to do. But when you just stop and you breathe and you stay calm, then you can overcome anything. So that would be my takeaway there, is not to panic when things aren't going right.
What motivates you within?
Well, I have a very, very strong connection with all of my friends and family. So I think that is motivation, as well as just my passion to learn and to share what I learn.
What are your top three success secrets that others can model from?
Set goals and set your goals high, because even if you don't meet that goal and you set it higher than you normally would, you're at least making some significant progress. So I think that is a great success secret, as well as being a good listener. And so learning is important, but actually listening to people when they speak, whether that's people in your audience or guests that you have on your podcast or panel, and to really listen to what they're saying and listen to what people need. And I think that's something that is usually overlooked to some degree, as well as just the fact that you have to take action, thinking of things and attempting to do things, but you have to take action. And so I think that is the biggest key to success.
What is your company's motto?
Our company's motto, I would have to say that we're authentic. So keeping things very genuine and being authentic in our messaging. All of our audience has been organic. So I think that is one thing that people appreciate about the content that we produce and that we try to keep in the top of our minds.
Who is your ideal client?
Our ideal client is anybody in the IoT and tech space that is looking to get their message heard by an audience of people that are looking for connected solutions that prove real value and create an actual solution to their problems.
How do you find your ideal client?
Well, I've attended plenty of trade shows in my day, so my network is pretty large in that sense that of contacts that I've already met in person, but I'm also very active and engaged on social, and it's word of mouth as well. And when you're speaking about things that are truly relevant and have meaning, people will find you. And so I think that that's been uh, a secret in how we're reaching as many people as we are.
How do you engage your ideal client?
I guess asking the right questions.
What are your products or services?
Our products and services range between different marketing services from PR to content creation to sponsorship packages, advertising packages, interviews. So we do anything on the production side as well as anything on the PR and media side.
Why someone should buy from you?
Because A, they're going to have a great time, and B, uh, we're not the average everyday marketing company. We do things in such a unique aspect that and because C, we use creativity in everything that we do, and it's all customized.
How do you crush your competition?
How do I crush my competition? I would have to say by research, lots of research, and really looking at things from outside the box as much as possible, and doing what everyone else is not doing for a large part of it.
How do you deliver a five-star client experience?
Follow-ups and just ensuring that everything is on track, and plus all of the technology automations that are out there, it's easy to get feedback from people, so that keeps everyone on task and on point. So I would say that is part of the five-star experience.
How do you convert your clients into brand ambassadors?
Well, I think once someone has an experience where they're a part of one of our industry insights webinars, then they want to carry that forward and invite other people to experience what they did and also share it with their audience. So that would be how I convert clients into brand ambassadors.
How do you handle rejections?
Don't take no for an answer, and unless it's something that you should say no to. So don't be afraid to say yes, and don't be afraid to say no. And maybe you're the one rejecting something. It just depends on if it's in alignment with your offering and beliefs and values. So don't be afraid to say no if something is not a good fit, and don't take it to heart if someone doesn't accept your offer, whatever it might be.
How do you handle an angry client?
Well, the customer's always right? So to some degree, you do have to at least agree with them in order for them to even hear you out if you do have another side to the story. But I think that it takes just being willing to listen. Again, I think that's a huge part of it.
We are about to move into lightning round. That means quick question and quick answer. Are you ready?
Yes.
What are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful for the people in my life, from my family to my friends to my colleagues to my team. Everyone has just been so supportive, and to our audience, everyone's just been amazing, and I really appreciate all of your support.
How do you start your day?
With a cup of coffee and feeding my cat.
How young are you?
21 and holding. A lady never tells.
What you want to do when you grow up?
Well, what do I want to do when I grow up? I think I'm doing it. I live in a fabulous home in Las Vegas, and I'm happier than ever before, and I love my career. So I feel that I am following my dream and my passion. If I could reach more people as I grow older, that would be amazing.
What is your plan to achieve your goal?
My plan to achieve my goal, to keep working at everything that I want to accomplish and make lists. Making lists is definitely one of my keys for success.
How will you feel in case you don't achieve your goal?
Well, it depends on how hard I'm being on myself that day, I suppose. But, I think that being a little bit hard on yourself is a good thing, but you can't be too hard on yourself. So take it with a grain of salt where you can. And if it's something you really need to improve on, then take it for what it is and make those adjustments.
How do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
resilience, and also just being flexible. Not everything will go your way 100%, 100% of the time. So once you just accept that, then you can be more flexible and agile in how you react to things.
Who is your living mentor and what's the impact?
My living mentor, well, there are several, but I'm going to say in this arena, Steve Brummer is one of my mentors because he always has such a positive energy about him. He's a conference speaker. He's does his own different production pieces, but he's also been a guest on my show plenty, and he's really just an icon and an industry leader in my eyes. So I would say Steve Brummer.
Why being impactful is important to you?
Well, if something's not impactful, then ultimately, why are you doing it? So I think that the more that you have meaning and you're actually trying to achieve something that you feel very strongly about, the better it's going to be perceived and the more it's going to actually resonate with people.
What do you want to be remembered for?
For making people smile and to bringing a sense of fun and happiness to everything I do, as well as giving people that normally wouldn't have a chance to do great things.
How can we support you?
Well, you can register to attend our upcoming webinars at iotmktg.com. We do an industry a month, and it's really interesting content on how technology is being used across multiple industries. So even if you're not in the technology area, there's definitely something to be learned about what's happening with Industry 4.0 and how it's changing our lives.
We are about to wrap up. I'd like to have a few words about your today's guest experience on the show. Here is my question. What would you say about your today's guest experience on the show?
I would have to say that being interviewed by you, Muhammad Siddique, has been a great pleasure, and I love the variety of guests that you have on your series, and I'm very excited to be a part of it, and I thank you for the opportunity.
What would you say as a final word?
Never stop learning and always be positive at the end of the day, because if you go about things with a smile, it's going to be a better day. So keep smiling.
Thank you so much, Tiffany, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Muhammad Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.
Thank you.